It's a nice, healthy MLB slate tonight, and we're here to hopefully find you some winners on that nice big card. And joining me, I got Steve Merril with me. We're going to talk a little big game breakdown. We're also going to get you a best bet and let you know about the great promos going on over at WagerTalk. But Steve, let's get right into it. It wasn't scoring runs so much that was the issue for the Red Sox over the weekend. They had 14 runs across their 4 games, but still ended up with a series split tonight. They head on the highway or hop on a plane to play the Oakland A's. Yes, they're still the Oakland A's as we are early here in the season, Steve. But how are we looking to bet this one?
Yeah, baseball isn't necessarily a situational sport, maybe like the NBA, college basketball, even the NFL. But I do think there's situational spots we can pick. And this looks like one tonight for a couple reasons. First of all, always looking for a reason to fade the worst teams in baseball. When I was on the show last week, I mentioned how I started my best bets off on Thursday opening night with a 16-1 blowout using the Diamondbacks on the run line. And it wasn't necessarily a play in Arizona. It was just a play against Colorado, who might be the worst team in baseball. But there's no question the Oakland A's are on the top of that list as well. And this is another team, once again, with the distraction of maybe leaving town, maybe going to Las Vegas. It's not a done deal yet. But we saw how bad they were at times last season. And after losing the first 3 games at home against Cleveland, I think the Guardians, I almost said Indians, but I said Guardians, kind of took their foot off the gas a little bit, as we often see on Sundays. Sundays are so random, especially after you win the first 3 games 26-7. It's just human nature situationally that maybe you overlook an opponent on Easter Sunday. And I think that's what Cleveland did yesterday. So I'm not going to read too much into that 4-3 win. Athletics still have had single-digit hits in every game this season. Now, the Red Sox, the opposite expected. They were 1-2 against the Mariners. They got the 5-1 win yesterday on getaway day. But I don't think they're going to overlook an opportunity to beat up on a weak Oakland team. And there's also a couple reasons why here. First of all, the Red Sox in that ultra-competitive AL East division. Keep in mind last year, the Red Sox were the only team in that division that was below 500, and they were still close to 500. So they can't overlook these non-division games, especially against bottom feeders. And being the first of a 3-game series ensures that focus spot. I mentioned how Cleveland came in, won the first 3, then kind of maybe was a little complacent yesterday. Red Sox won't be here, and we get a pretty short price playing against one of the worst teams in baseball. So I like Boston in this game, minus the 135, 140, 145. You got to shop around. Keep in mind, some books have 20-cent lines, some books have 10-cent lines. It's so important to have multiple outs. And really, it's so important, as you know, Dan, to make sure you have a 10-cent line in baseball. So we'll say minus 140 on average here for the Red Sox. I also wouldn't be opposed to playing them on the run line and getting a plus money price. You get a minus 1.5, plus 120 in most spots on the run line. And the reason I mentioned that is because when Oakland lost last year, they usually lost by margin. And you look at their 3 losses this season, 8, 2, and 9 run losses. They haven't covered the run line yet. The only game they did, they won outright. So Boston money line, Boston run line, however you want to split it up. You could go half and half, make it a minus 1. But the Red Sox are the way to play this late night game tonight on Monday.
Yeah, and if you look at some of the more public books over at the WagerTalk live odds screen, we're even seeing some numbers getting close to minus 150 there on the money line for the Boston Red Sox. So as Steve said, use that odds screen, obviously, but make sure you have those multiple outs, because 10 cents in the long run going to make a pretty big difference in whether you were a profitable bettor, you broke even, or you lost out on some of the juice. So a great tool is that WagerTalk live odds screen. And Steve also identified the Rockies as a team he might be looking to fade here early in the year. The A's as well. Hop below in the comments and let us know what teams you think are going to be pretty much auto fades on the card. Let us know below. And while you're down there, hit that like button, hit subscribe so you never miss when we're going live right here, or we're dropping these single game type videos for you on the WagerTalk YouTube channel here. And guys, don't forget too, it is April Fool's and we're not messing around here. $9 packages loaded across the site, and you can get all day passes as well for just $17. Great savings here at wagertalk.com. Steve, let's talk some best bet action here. It's always fun, you always do the fade the public videos. What does the public like to do? They like to bet overs. Everybody wants runs. Everybody wants baskets. And you think we might just be seeing that tonight in Houston. Tell the folks what you have up and tell them how we're betting this game tonight.
Yeah, first of all, I do have a strong best bet in Major League Baseball for $9 Monday. It's an MLB steamroller, a small favorite, which I think will crush the line. So I really like the value on the play tonight. And by the way, baseball's off to a great start. 3-1, 75% of my best bets and free plays I've posted since opening day last week. The only loss, Saturday, a 6-4 blown lead in the ninth inning. Otherwise, I'd be a perfect 4-0 on free plays and best bets. I've got a best bet in baseball for just $9. It's a huge discount because it's $9 Monday. No fooling on April 1st, but also a bonus free play. Not one of the two games I'm talking about here, a bonus free play as well for tonight on Monday in baseball. So check that out, Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. And while you're there, check out a special price for the rest of the NBA. You know, the NBA is kind of flying under the radar right now with college hoops in the tournament, but I'm 55-35, ranked number one this season on NBA sides at WagerTalk, off over 66 units. Perfect 4-0 sweep on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in the NBA. Great time to be playing pro basketball. Check out a special offer as well. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. And let's look at a bonus free play here for the show tonight. And it is an over. You know, I like overs because you can cash these and then just hope the rain doesn't come. And that's the great thing about overs. Same thing in the NFL. Just hope the lights don't go off under 55 minutes of regulation and you don't have to sweat these games. I think this could be one of them tonight, as these are two capable offenses, obviously. And once again, it's a new series. They just played their opening series against Tampa. Toronto was at Tampa. Houston was home against the Yankees. Tampa and New York Yankees, two of the best pitching staffs in baseball. And those were lower scoring games on average, but Toronto still went over in 3 of the 4 games. They put up 8 runs and 9 runs in 2 of those 4 games. Still one of the best offensive teams in baseball, even away from home. The Astros, meanwhile, off to a terrible start 0-4 sweep. Yankees won all 4 games on the road at Houston. And yes, the Astros offense was inconsistent at times, and they did go under in 3 games with a push. So no overs. Yet they had 7 hits or more in 3 of those 4 games. They had 12 hits or more in half those games. So I don't think anything's wrong with the Astros offense, but that bullpen might be having some problems. 6.9 ERA and a 1.92 whip first 4 games this season, and that is why they got swept at home. I think this pitching staff might be on the downtrend this season overall, and Houston could be a good over team, and that's why the fact they're 3-0 to the under already gives us even more value. In fact, we saw the sports books open as 9 under 20. Sharp Money quickly corrected that. Now we're now looking at 9 over 20. 9 is a very key number, but because of that 3-0 understart, Dan, I think we're getting some value. This would have been 9.5 or 10 otherwise. I like over 9 between the Astros and Blue Jays tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern.
Runs tonight in the series opener. That's Steve Merril. 2 R's, 1 L, and it's apropos as you only have 1 L in the MLB season thus far. Thanks to a blown lead there in the 9th. Check him out over at wt.buzz/SM, and you can grab that best bet for just $9. A little throwback action for you longtime viewers. And if you're joining us for the first time, greatly appreciate that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and make sure you get those savings. It ends tonight at midnight, folks. So don't be walking, be running on over to WagerTalk.com. Big thanks to Steve. Just a reminder, he's on the over in the Blue Jays and Astros game at that key number of 9, and he's also looking at the Red Sox, however you want to bet them. Run line, money line, you name it. They're taking down the A's, says Steve Merril this evening. Appreciate you tuning in. Hey, if you want some more betting content, you don't have to go very far. Actually, you don't have to go anywhere. You can click the video on your screen right this very moment, and you can continue getting all that info you need to bet all the sports you love. That's what we do here at Wager Talk TV.